Gunshots.
You just heard gunshots?
Yes.
How many?
There's one. Kelly, get down.
We're going to turn now to Florida, where dramatic 911 calls were released overnight in the case of the Neighborhood Watch shooting. An unarmed teenager was shot dead inside a gated community where his father lived. Now the outrage is boiling over. Why has the shooter not yet been arrested? ABC's Matt Gutman has the latest.
It's the gunshots that are triggering national outrage.
They're wrestling right in the back of my porch.
In these just-released 911 tapes, you hear a struggle between two men, 17-year-old Trayvon Martin and neighborhood watchman George Zimmerman.
The guy's yelling help.
Zimmerman himself called a non-emergency dispatcher, and you can hear him stalk Martin, who was unarmed and 100 pounds lighter.
They always get away.
Are you following us? Yeah. Okay, we don't need you to do that.
But then come the gunshots.
Gunshots.
I'm pretty sure the guy's dead out here. Holy.
It was February 25th, and Martin was at his stepmother's. He went to buy some Skittles during halftime of the NBA All-Star Game.
Wow. First of all, normally right now I would be giving you, that whole, Young Heartbreak TV opening, but just hearing what I just heard, wow. Yeah, Trayvon Martin. Actually, I'm sorry. This is your main man, Vincent Heartbreak Tucker, at Young Heartbreak on Twitter. Coming at y'all one more again. I got my 5-star on the line. Wow, Trayvon Martin, which is the the murder that's sweeping the nation. It's a story of an unarmed 17-year-old from Florida who was shot by a neighborhood watch captain in a community in Sanford, Florida. And it's led to this big federal investigation, and it's been numerous rallies all across the United States. And matter of fact, there's going to be one here in Dallas tomorrow evening. My understanding, and to my 5-star, please feel free to jump in. And just hearing that and hearing bits and pieces and reading a little bit, my understanding is he was leaving his dad's gated community, going to a 7-Eleven. He bought some Skittles and iced tea, and he was walking back from the store on his cell phone to his father's house, back to his father's house, and Mr. George Zimmerman, neighborhood watch captain in his area, was already suspicious. He allegedly of some suspicious neighborhood and some suspicious activities in the neighborhood, and suspected that that Trayvon was up to no good, and he called the police. Which what you're supposed to do when you feel like there's a suspicious neighborhood going on. He called the police, and then he decided he was gonna go follow Trayvon, and she mentioned the dispatcher mentioned that he didn't have to do that, and he did it anyway. And you can hear one story. I think, matter of fact, it was the first call I played at the beginning. You hear a gunshot in the background, and that's the shot that George fired to kill Trayvon. So George has said it's self-defense, and he's hiding behind a 2005 state law in Florida, self-defense law called Stand Your Ground, where even this law, you can be an aggressor if you feel like your life's threatened. But what's being argued in this case is he technically lost that right when a dispatcher asked him, "Are you following him?" And he said yes. So theoretically, what a lot of people are arguing is behind that law is no longer valid because you have a recording with him saying, "Yes, I'm following him," and the dispatcher saying, "There's no need to do that," and he's decided to go do it anyway. It's been an uproar across the country. Mr. Zimmerman has not been arrested, and that has resulted in a lot of backlash against the Sanford City the police department. NAACP issued a letter, I believe on behalf of the family in the country, the whole saying that there was zero faith in the current police chief of the Sanford Police, and Chief Lee, actually, Police Chief Bill Lee, and he stepped down temporarily and missed this investigation. And I don't know about you, 5-star, but I don't know if all the stuff that's been reported in this case, as far as police, not doing a background check on him and not identifying the fact that he already had previous charges for battery on a police officer and a domestic abuse against a former girlfriend. But then there's also reports from witnesses that they tried to correct their witness story. They wouldn't listen to other witnesses. I don't know about you, 5-star, but how do you feel about this case?
Well, this case reminds me of the 1965 killing of the Hill. I don't know if you're aware of that story, but a little 14-year-old boy that was killed by two white men because he allegedly was flirting with a white woman and her husband and his brother killed this little boy because of that. So, I mean, it's like a repeat of history that shouldn't have happened.
Wow, that's not a bad. I like that. I like the comparison. That's the big thing. Everyone's screaming race. I saw a report from his dad, and his dad is of Peruvian descent. He has a Caucasian mother, George Zimmerman, but his dad's saying that his son is not a racist. He grew up in a multiracial home. He had friends of different backgrounds. He supports his son. Stands by the claim that his son was acting in self-defense. I don't know. If you go chase somebody,
That's not so bad.
exactly. So I don't understand how they can be comfortable and stand behind that charge. I think the most logical thing to do, and call the cliche police for me on this one, but the logical thing to do is they need to go ahead and arrest Mr. Zimmerman and let him have his day in court. Now, if he sits in a jury room and a jury room full of his peers and they decide it's self-defense, then let's do that. Or if they decide he's guilty, but he needs to have his day in court. I think it's not fair to his father, Tracy Martin, and his mother, Sabrina Fulton. They need that closure, and they need to see some justice done, with the slaying of their son. I don't know. I'm speechless in a lot of ways.
I think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
2012,
You're right. It should happen. But I think it lays to the claim that. See, I hate to judge and call them racist. But there is one thing that he said in his call that some people have started beginning to catch in the last day or two. In this video, right before he started following Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman says under his breath, "Effing coons." Now they're trying to get the people that are now investigating this federal investigation are trying to get clarity on whether he's saying "effing coons," which is a racial slur towards African Americans, black people, or if he's saying "effing goons." There seems to be a little confusion on that, but if they can prove that he said "effing coons," that would definitely help establish that Mr. Zimmerman had a bias against Trayvon because he was black, and may have been a motivating factor in him chasing 17-year-old unarmed Trayvon Martin down and shooting him. I don't know. Have you had a chance to hear the call? Yeah, I gotta. I'm about to play that for you. But yeah, I was just listening to a 911 call today, and people arguing. Yeah, if they can prove, he said coon, it may help go a long way in helping even more evidence to help prove the case. So I don't know. I want to see what y'all think about it. You know what to do. Hit me up at Young Heartbreak on Twitter. YouTube.com/YoungHeartbreakTV. Leave your comments, leave your thoughts. Response videos. I want to know what y'all think. I want to hear from the people. It's Vincent Heartbreak Tucker, the people's champion. I do it for you. So RP to Trayvon Martin, and I really do hope that there's justice. And I really hope that Mr. Martin, Mr. Tracy Martin, and Sabrina Fulton, his mother, mom and dad respectively, get that closure, because I know what it feels like to lose a loved one, right? Those that follow the Heartbreak story, and I lost my little sister, and that wrecked my family. I just hope that they get some closure and get some justice. So definitely rest in peace. So you think you know? You have no idea. It's Lifetimes. Vincent Heartbreak Tucker. March 2012. See y'all next time. Peace.